right, well, thanks to Sony Ericsson, Intel, and G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL. And here we have our yellow Terran player, the team MVP. Looking for his win, he is.
MVP SC.
Wants to get to the up and down matches, wants to get into Code S. He's got kind of like reddish tinged hair today, apparently. Down at the bottom of the map, we have our foreign Terran player from Dignitas. He is
Dignitas Select.
And wouldn't it be something, Moltrap, if a foreign player came in and got to the up and downs? I mean, Huck did it before,
crazy.
But this
yeah,
would be
Huck's
our
the only
first,
one that's done it, really.
Yeah, this would be our first MLG seed to get in and do that. So that'd be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But, you know, I got to say, as much as, you know, obviously I want our foreign player to win, SC, I'm such a big fan of his as well. He's such a good player that I'd be happy either way.
You know, SC is a guy that I kind of wonder what's going on with him, because not that long ago I was calling him one of the top few Terrans. You know, he was really, really strong. I mean, he got to the semifinals of Code S just a couple seasons ago, and so it's really interesting to see him having fallen so far down to Code A. So, in a way, I do hope that he can get back up to his former status and be a strong Terran again.
Yeah. Seems like for him there were maybe some factors outside the game that were maybe affecting
True,
his
he did
practice.
have that injury.
Changing teams as well, you know, that'll always mess with the practice a little bit as there's that transition there. So a couple things might be playing into that, but we'll have to see how he does. I mean, being in Code A is certainly still not a bad thing at all. I like how a lot of these Terrans now are starting that supply depot, you know, and then just kind of leaving it just to kind of deny scouting.
Yeah, Select did not get to scout SC's base at all last game, whereas SC really scouted the heck out of Select's base, so I'm really not surprised to see Select doing that, hiding his build this time, which looks to be pretty much the same build.
Yeah, he's getting that factory immediately after the barracks. Did go gas first. And SC getting a pretty quick factory as well this game. So each of these guys have some sort of techie sort of opening plan. Will we see possibly the return of the siege tank expand now? Wouldn't that be something? That's maybe a bit of a long shot. But
Yeah, well, we do have Select getting an extra gas now.
Oh,
so,
look at that.
And the starport, so definitely going to be Banshees, and that is actually a proxied starport.
Yeah, right outside the base of SC, so Select trying to get a little bit tricky here.
Yeah.
It's going to take him a little bit longer to get out that Banshee because he'll have to build the tech lab right there, but by the same token, he'll have to fly a lot less of a distance to get there as well.
Yeah,
Actually,
I wonder how that works out as far as the timing, but
I would imagine the Banshee would be a little bit faster.
It's probably going to be a little bit faster regardless. And it also
close,
means that if SC does get into his base and scouts with a Reaper or something, he won't see the starport, so he will be a little bit more in the dark.
Yeah, that's
of course,
true as well.
SC not getting a Reaper. He's sending a Hellion to the front of Select's base right now, just to try to do some harassment. It's going to get pushed back by those Marines.
Must make some pretty good, like, flame-resistant paint on those supply depots. It takes a lot of hits before it finally lights.
Yeah, you would think that it would just, you know, light on fire or something like that. Well, I guess it's probably mostly metal, so.
Well, what is the fuel source in a supply depot anyway? That's the question I've always kind of wondered. Like,
the fuel source?
I mean, is it just minerals or something? I mean,
yeah, well, it's 100%
gas,
minerals to construct a supply depot, so therefore
That's
it must
true.
be made entirely of minerals.
That's true. It's just made almost all minerals. Marines are made almost entirely out of minerals as well. Mineral suits, that's why they're blue. Well, for Select at least. Cloak
the Banshees.
on the way as well.
Whoa, scouting SCV sees the front. The Banshee is out.
Banshee's out for SC as well, moving down to Select's base. He does have some Marines in position, though, so might be okay. Only 5 Marines, though. I mean, that does make it a little bit difficult. The 6 joining now, that should be enough. Oh, gets the 3 shots off on that Banshee. Look at that. SC targeting down the weakened Marine right away. These guys are so good, man.
Yep. Yeah, Select had actually pulled that barely away from the Hellion earlier, so.
And here comes the Banshee into the base of SC. That came pretty quick.
And
SC.
there's already a Viking out. Cloak is about to finish, though, but it's still 15 seconds away.
Oh, no.
Is that Viking going to be able to kill the Banshee before Cloak finishes?
I think it might. There's a lot of space in this map, but
5 seconds, 3 seconds,
oh,
1
it's gonna be
second.
so close. He close.
Oh, wow, that was close.
Yeah, and the Banshee for SC almost going down, but Select almost out of Marines right now as well. This is becoming a very tense situation. Meanwhile, Select is in the main base, killing some more Marines. SC saving up for a scan. He might have. Did he actually use a mule there instead? He thought he was going to get over the Viking. Nope, he didn't.
Oh, the Banshee.
Oh. Wow.
Whoa.
And the second Banshee for Select comes into the base as well. This is starting to look like it's going to do a decent amount of damage to SC for sure.
I have no idea how that Banshee survived.
It's magic.
The top one there, but yeah, the second Banshee now doing some damage. It's almost out of energy, so it's gonna have to get out or sacrifice itself.
Yeah. Well, you can see Select moving away the Banshee with the least energy there to try to save that. Put on a lot of pressure at the end of the day. It looks like the SCV count is about even, 27 to 26. So both players trading fairly evenly in that regard. Select just making a few less SCVs and SC just losing a few more SCVs. And a Raven on the way. So once the Raven comes out for SC, this is going to basically end the harassment for Select. It's going to be pretty tough with that Raven and a couple Vikings out. But Select's done some damage. Looks like he's going to try a little bit more, but the Raven is there, so he will pull away immediately. And he's actually going to lead those Vikings right to the starport if he's not careful. Yeah, SC still doesn't know about it.
He cloaks to go back in for some more damage.
Yeah. Oh, supply drop from SC. That is uncharacteristic. Wow.
Now, both these players, at the end of the day, they've both been harassing each other, killing off Marines, killing off SCVs. But at the end of all of it, they're both about even in supply right now. Now, on the income tab, though, they're also very even. So it's kind of both players have been harassing each other an equal amount, basically. So it's come out about even.
Yeah, SC did get himself supply blocked a little bit there, but I suppose Select was one supply blocking him. And he loses his second Banshee. Not bad overall, though. I mean, at the very least, Select has stayed even. A little bit behind in supply, but not enough to really worry about it all. And another Banshee coming out. Select is just going crazy with these Banshees. I almost wonder if he's actually overcommitting just a little bit to this with the...
At this point, he might be. I mean, as long as they keep paying for themselves, which they have been thus far, then it's fine to keep making them. But at this point, with the Raven and the extra Vikings out, it doesn't make a ton of sense to keep up with them. But now, the Ravens and Viking are out of position, and Select may be waiting for them to attack his base and then go in again with that last Banshee in the top left. Here they come. Viking to protect his own Banshee.
Yeah, this is a nice move by SC, even dropping the auto turret. Oh, I love this move by SC. This is so cool. This is one of these new little Terran things that we see once in a while. A little bit of the air attacks. And those tanks are not going to be too helpful against Banshees. So oh no, is he actually going to lose it to the turret? Oh, Select.
He must have just, A, moved it over there to try and get some kills while he was focusing on defending his own base and just lost track of it for a moment.
Oh, Select. Well, that could have gone a little bit better. But the supply, again, well, I guess it is actually not very even anymore. I hadn't looked at it a little bit. I looked over. It's like, no, it's not. Select about 20 supply down now.
Well, they'd been trading blows, and then this last time SC did damage, but Select did not do damage in return, so he didn't get to even things up there. Another Banshee coming in.
Yeah, he's
just
really,
being absolutely
really
relentless.
Work. I mean, oh, he catches the medevac though.
Oh,
that's
nice.
A huge score.
Oh, if he kills that, which he will,
that'll help a little bit.
That will help a huge amount. Boom, 10 supply.
Nope, loses another
Boom.
Banshee there. It is just so expensive for Select to keep losing these Banshees like this too, though. SC still harassing at the base of Select with the Banshees. And, I mean, at this point, this has become quite the TBT slap fight. Wow. Finally getting taken down. Select looks like he's going to push. Now, what is the tank count? Select does have 4 tanks to just the 1 of SC.
That is true.
That is going to help him a little bit.
Definitely going to help him out a lot, actually, depending on where they engage in battle. That means the positioning is going to be very important because they have about even Marines. SC has actually more Marines.
Yes, be careful.
So if they engage on, exactly what I was going to say. If they engage on Select siege mode, Select will have the advantage. If they engage outside of siege mode, SC will have the advantage.
Yeah. Now the big question.
Oh, he's stim in there. Actually, I said stim, but Select doesn't have many medevacs, so he can't really afford to stim very much.
And yeah, Select just going to pull back at this point. SC can match this fairly easily. And here's kind of what we see happen on Zelnaga Fortress quite a bit. We see these players trying to sort of position around the middle of the map. Stim from SC. Does he have enough to handle it? siege up by Select, and I don't know. That is a nice concave for SC, and he does have enough.
Wow.
SC just absolutely annihilating the army of Select.
Just too many Marines. I don't think he's going to be able to break Select. He does have a bunker. He's got more Marines at home.
Things are looking pretty grim.
A little auto turret harassment here.
Yep. Nice to do too, gives your units vision on the low ground. The tanks pulling up here.
This is a brilliant move to not engage the front where Select is strong, forcing him to lift some buildings here instead. And Select, again, doesn't have any medevacs, so he cannot really stim in here very much. He's got to make one stim of it, and that's all he can really afford to.
Everything else is canceled there, I guess, as well. Yeah, I mean, right now it's just kind of the same situation we were in last game, really, where Select tried something that was a little bit risky, and it just hasn't been working out quite like he had planned.
Yeah, Select is really in trouble here. SC is in his base, killing off his buildings now. He just lost another barracks there. And a drop coming in the side as well. This could be another nail in the coffin for Select. Select moving out into the middle of the map. He knows he can't just stay there and get slowly pecked to death. Oh, but he loses units. GG.
Yeah,
SC has taken the match.
Yeah, and I mean, SC he's just straight up outplayed Select. That's hard to say, but that's the truth. MVP SC gets a ticket to the up and down matches. He's going to the round of 8. And Select is still in Code A, so we might see him again next season. We'll see.
For some reason, when you said a ticket, I was thinking like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like a golden ticket. Select's gonna get to the up and down matches and eat something and become big and purple, and
I don't know. SC
Gumiho's gonna get to the up and down matches, and like he'll get there and eat something. He'll start floating in the air in this little chamber and have to burp to get down again.
That's something that I'm sure everybody would just love to see.
Great.
I would, yeah.
Be like MC last season, burped a lot and went all the way down to Code A.
You know, doesn't that movie have like a kid who's like really evil because he plays a ton of video games? That's the newer version of Willy Wonka that has that. I don't think the older ones has
I haven't
that.
even seen the newer version, to be honest.
The newer one isn't that good.
Much of a Depp fan as I am.
It's not as good as the old one. I definitely prefer the older one. But it's been a while since I've seen both of them, so I'm kind of like getting confused now.
Well, the old one's a classic, you know.
I don't know.
So.
I actually don't like candy that much, so watching that movie, it's like, ugh, how can people eat all that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, so rough news for our foreign fans here. Of course,
yeah, that's
everybody's
too bad.
kind of rooting for Select, but you know, SC is a good turn.
Also, another but is that Select is still going to be in Code A next season.
Yeah.
And you know, he's only been here for really just a few weeks training here in Korea, and he's been staying at the FXO house, and he has really been making use of his time there. So hopefully by next season, by Code A next season, he will have really trained up and be a much better player than right now. So we're going to have a 5-minute break real quick. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have some more good StarCraft action coming up for you in just a minute.